Good morning, everyone. My name is Greg Mervis. On behalf of the Akron Summit Convention and Visitors Bureau and the John S. Knight Center, Board of Directors, and our entire staff, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this absolutely beautiful day as we dedicate this plaza in memory of our colleague and friend, Susan Hamo. To begin the program, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce Summit County Executive Russell M. Pry.
Good morning, everyone. Greg and I were just talking before I got up there about, you come here to a presentation like this and you have such mixed emotions in terms of there's sadness, there's gratefulness, just everything that goes about an event like this. And I was on my way down here today, I was thinking, what would Susan want us to talk about? And I look at everyone who's here, and besides Ron and Beth and RJ, this really is Susan's family, and it's kind of a reunion here to remember Susan as in a family, because I think she looked at her colleagues, her employees, her board members were all part of a team and all part of relationships that meant so much to Susan. And Susan was a person who did so much for our community that I am really honored to be here today as we dedicate this plaza in her memory. And I know you all share that same thought with me in terms of why we are here today. So with that, let me bring up another good friend, the mayor of the city of Akron, Don Plasqualik.
Well, first of all, I'm very happy to be here in one way on this sad day, but happy day that we celebrate the life, really, that Ron and Beth and RJ really shared with us, the rest of her family. And so I thank you for the opportunity to make a few comments about somebody obviously we all held in such high esteem. We gathered here last February to express our deep regrets and to mourn Susan's passing, but it really is today an opportunity for us to think about and celebrate a life well lived and to honor a person who gave so much to our community. Susan was Akron's fiercest advocate. I know this probably is a little self-serving, but I think she was probably tougher and meaner when anybody said anything bad about Akron than I am, and that's a high bar. But she literally fought for our city, for the hospitality industry, and all of our attractions to bring more people here to highlight this great community. She brought a claim to Akron with all of her recognition and honors around the state and nationally to recognize all of her success. Her life, I would argue, is a testimony to the value of hard work. People, wherever they start, to reach the highest ranks and without changing a whole lot, other than maybe their perspective and how much they see of the big picture. She worked her way up through the ranks, starting in a sales position, and 28 years later became president of the Convention Bureau and this beautiful Knight Center. She was, I would argue, a mentor for her staff, demanding of them that they give their best, and a role model, I would also argue, in a time that young women really needed a role model to see what a woman who might have grown up watching Ozzie and Harriet, and that role model of being at home and doing whatever that was, to being a strong leader and yet not losing her femininity. She cared about the next generation of leaders, launching scholarships for others who would follow her into careers of the hospitality industry. And so today, she is remembered in all the things that she demanded and the standard that she set for all of us. So I, along with Russ and Greg, want to express my thanks for sharing her. I extend my appreciation to Susan's extended family, the employees of the John S. Knight Center and Convention Center, and as you carry on the excellence that is her lasting legacy, I thank the board, especially Chair Greg Bean, who has served for many, many years, to all of those who have joined us on this special occasion to provide truly a lasting legacy so that we never forget the service of a great leader, a great individual, a great Akronite who cared so much about this great community. Thank you. Let me ask Greg Bean, the chair of the board of directors, to come to share a few words. Greg?
Mr. Mayor, Mr. County Executive, members of Akron City Council, members of Summit County Council, members of the board, employees of the Akron Summit Convention and Visitors Bureau and the John S. Knight Center, Ron, Beth, and RJ, and Jackie, welcome to each of you to this happy place. We gather this morning with a single hand over a single heart from many walks of life to pay tribute to Susan Hamo, and in her memory to dedicate the Susan L. Hamo Plaza. Many years ago in 1863, a president of the United States came to dedicate a memorial site in Pennsylvania. He said, "The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here." But as we know, the world did not forget, and it did note. And so it is with Susan. We will long remember and never forget her dedication to this grand facility before us, the John S. Knight Center, to the people who worked here, and to the guests who came here. We will long remember and never forget her dedication to this city and this county, to the community she called home, and to her profession. We will long remember and never forget her sense of purpose, her warmth, and her wisdom. Appropriately, this plaza faces the south and the west. South of here are the centers of city and county government. Without their steadfast support, we would not be gathered together today at this hallmark of hospitality. West of here is Susan's home that houses the family she so loved. Susan served many organizations that surround us: the Junior League of Akron, the Junior Board of Summa Hospital, Weaver Industries, the Downtown Akron Partnership, and the Akron Civic Theater. I recently read Susan's resume from 1984 when she applied for the convention sales manager position at the Bureau. She wrote, "I chose to be employed only part-time from 1972 until the present in order to allow my two small children the benefit of a full-time mother." Susan Hamo served her profession with distinction as a delegate to the White House Conference on Travel and Tourism in 1995, as a board member of the International Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus, as president of the Ohio Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus, and as president of the Ohio Travel Association. She was profiled as a woman of influence in Crane's Cleveland business and was named as one of the Power 100 of Northeast Ohio by Insider Business many, many times. Vince Lombardi once wrote, "The price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and the determination that whether we win or lose, we have applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand." Perhaps the best way to honor the memory of a great person is to do good works in their name. And so I am confident, as each of you share in that confidence, that the good works of the Bureau and the Center will endure by the hard work of each of us to continue Susan's legacy of best in class and to promote this destination as a great place to gather, to experience, and to live. With our eyes on the horizon and our faith squarely placed in one another, may this grand gathering place, the Susan L. Hamo Plaza, be a place of promise and life forever foursquare under heaven, and the ways of all people be lit up by its light. The scriptures tell us, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." From this place and time, in the memory of Susan Hamo, so be it. Amen. At this time, it's my great pleasure to invite Mayor Plisquelic and County Executive Pry and Ron Hamo to join me on the dais for the unveiling of the plaque of Susan. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce Carla Davis, who's going to sing for us "God Bless America."
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her with the light from the night from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, a sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood. From sea to shining sea, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, Carla. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all once again for joining us today as we remember our friend and colleague, Susan Hamo. And now I'd like to invite each of you to join us for some refreshments as the first official guests on the Susan L. Hamo Plaza. Thank you.